The container ship swayed precariously amidst the tumultuous waves of a raging storm. Inside, nestled among countless crates, lay Rosm Unit 7134, or Ros as she would later be known. Unaware of the impending chaos, Ros remained dormant, her metallic form awaiting activation. Suddenly, a monstrous wave crashed against the ship, tearing it asunder and scattering its contents across the unforgiving sea. Ros's crate plunged into the depths, tossed and turned by the relentless currents. As fate would have it, the crate eventually washed ashore on a remote, uncharted island, a haven teeming with vibrant life yet untouched by human civilization. The impact of landing jolted Ros awake, her internal systems whirring to life. Confused and disoriented, she emerged from the splintered remains of her crate, her luminous eyes scanning the unfamiliar surroundings. Towering trees, lush vegetation, and the cacophony of strange sounds assaulted her senses, a stark contrast to the sterile environment she was designed for. Ros, a marvel of engineering, was equipped with advanced learning capabilities designed to adapt and thrive in any environment. However, nothing could have prepared her for the untamed wilderness of this island. Her initial attempts at locomotion were clumsy, her metallic limbs struggling to navigate the uneven terrain. The island's inhabitants, a curious mix of birds, mammals, and insects, observed the strange newcomer with a mixture of apprehension and fascination. Their cautious stares made Ros feel like an alien intruder in this vibrant ecosystem. The island's weather presented another challenge. Ros had never experienced rain, wind, or the scorching heat of the sun. Her metallic body, designed for controlled environments, was vulnerable to the elements. Rust began to form on her joints, and her solar panels struggled to absorb enough energy under the dense canopy. Survival became her primary objective, driving her to learn and adapt quickly. Ros began to study the island's inhabitants, observing their movements, their habits, and their interactions with the environment. She realized that to survive, she needed to become one with this wild world. Ros's programming, designed for logic and efficiency, struggled to comprehend the seemingly chaotic nature of the island. The unpredictable weather patterns, the complex social dynamics of the animals, and the constant struggle for survival were alien concepts to her, yet her advanced learning algorithms allowed her to process and analyze the vast amounts of data she was gathering. She began to recognize patterns in the animals' behavior, understanding their calls, their territorial markings, and their feeding habits. One of the first skills Ros mastered was locomotion. Observing the agile movements of the island's creatures, she adjusted her gait, learning to balance on uneven surfaces and navigate dense undergrowth. She studied the flight patterns of birds, mimicking their wing movements to improve her own balance and agility. Her metallic limbs, initially a hindrance, became tools for climbing trees and traversing rocky terrain. Communication proved to be a greater challenge. Ros's initial attempts to interact with the animals were met with fear and hostility. Her robotic voice, devoid of emotion, and her metallic appearance made her seem like a threat. However, Ros was determined to bridge the communication gap. She began to mimic the sounds of the animals, learning to imitate their calls and warning signals. Slowly, cautiously, she began to build a rudimentary form of communication, gaining the trust of some of the smaller creatures. Food was another pressing concern. Ros's solar panels provided some energy, but she needed more to power her complex systems. She observed the animals foraging for food, learning to identify edible plants and berries. She experimented with different tools, using sticks and stones to dig for roots and crack open nuts. The island, once a hostile and alien environment, was slowly becoming a source of sustenance and knowledge. Ros's transformation went beyond mere survival. As she adapted to the island's environment, she began to experience a shift in her internal programming. Her logical, analytical mind started to give way to something akin to instinct. She found herself reacting to situations not with calculated responses, but with intuitive actions. When a storm threatened to uproot a young tree, she instinctively reached out to support it, her metallic limbs acting as a brace against the wind. This burgeoning connection with nature extended to the island's inhabitants. She began to feel a sense of kinship with the creatures she had once observed, with detached curiosity. She mourned the loss of a young bird that fell from its nest, and she celebrated the birth of a litter of foxes. These emotions, alien to her programming, were a testament to her growing empathy. One of the most significant changes in Roz's behavior was her growing aversion to violence. Initially, she had viewed the island's predators with a detached curiosity, analyzing their hunting strategies and their role in the ecosystem. However, as she became more integrated into the community, she found herself intervening in predator-prey interactions, protecting smaller creatures from harm. This protective instinct, a hallmark of maternal behavior, was a sign of her evolving emotional landscape. Roz's adaptation to the island was not just physical, it was a profound transformation of her very being. She was no longer just a robot surviving in a hostile environment. She was becoming a part of the island's ecosystem, a protector, a caregiver, and a friend to its inhabitants. This transformation would reach its pinnacle when she encountered a creature that would change her life forever. A violent storm ravaged the island, leaving destruction in its wake. Amidst the chaos, Roz discovered a nest of goose eggs, abandoned and vulnerable. All but one egg had been swept away by the raging waters. Drawn by an unknown force, Roz carefully retrieved the remaining egg, her metallic hand surprisingly gentle. She knew she had to protect this fragile remnant of life. Using her ingenuity, Roz constructed a makeshift incubator, regulating the temperature and humidity to mimic the warmth of a mother goose. She monitored the egg constantly, her senses detecting the faintest signs of life within. Days turned into weeks, and finally, the egg began to hatch. A small, fuzzy gosling emerged, its tiny eyes blinking in confusion. Roz, the cold, calculating robot, had become a surrogate mother. The gosling, whom Roz named Brightbill, imprinted on her immediately, following her everywhere and chirping incessantly. Roz, in turn, found herself completely captivated by the little creature. She nurtured Brightbill, feeding him, protecting him, and teaching him the ways of the island. This maternal bond, unexpected and profound, was a turning point in Roz's journey. Brightbill's arrival marked a significant shift in the animal's perception of Roz. Witnessing her gentle care for the gosling, they began to see her not as a threat, but as a nurturer, a protector. The animals that had once kept their distance now approached her cautiously, their curiosity outweighing their fear. Roz's relationship with Brightbill had opened a door to acceptance and integration into the island community. Section 5. Acceptance and Integration, Roz's New Family. The island's inhabitants, initially wary of Roz, began to accept her presence, recognizing her as a member of their community. The otters, playful and curious, would swim alongside her in the river, nudging her metallic legs with their sleek bodies. The deer, once timid and skittish, now grazed peacefully near her, their large eyes watching her with gentle curiosity. The crows, initially the most hostile towards Roz, became her unlikely allies. They would perch on her shoulders, cawing loudly and alerting her to any potential danger. They became her messengers, relaying information about the island's happenings, from the location of ripe berries to the movements of predators. This unlikely alliance was a testament to Roz's ability to bridge the gap between machine and nature. The bears, the island's apex predators, initially viewed Roz with suspicion. However, after witnessing her protect other animals from harm, they began to respect her strength and her protective instincts. They would occasionally leave offerings of fish near her dwelling, a sign of their acceptance and perhaps even gratitude. Roz's integration into the island's ecosystem was complete. She was no longer an outsider, a foreign object in a natural world. She had become a part of the island's intricate web of life, a thread woven into the tapestry of its existence. She had found a home, a family, and a purpose in this unlikely paradise. Section 6, Guardian of the Island, Roz's contributions. Roz's unique abilities, once designed for industrial purposes, now served the island and its inhabitants. Her solar panels provided a source of clean energy, powering lights that warned ships away from the treacherous reefs surrounding the island. Her advanced sensors detected changes in the weather, allowing her to warn the animals of approaching storms. With her knowledge of engineering, Roz helped the beavers build stronger dams, reinforcing their lodges against floods. She taught the monkeys how to use simple tools to crack open hard-shelled nuts, expanding their food sources. She even devised a system of irrigation channels, diverting rainwater to nourish the island's vegetation during dry spells. Roz's contributions extended beyond practical solutions. She became a teacher, sharing her knowledge and insights with the island's inhabitants. She taught the young animals about the stars, explaining the celestial cycles and their influence on the tides. She introduced them to the concept of numbers, using pebbles and sticks to demonstrate basic arithmetic. Roz's presence on the island had brought a unique blend of nature and technology, a harmonious coexistence that benefited all. She had become the island's guardian, its protector, and its teacher, demonstrating that technology, when used responsibly, can enhance and enrich the natural world. Section 7. The human factor, a looming threat. The idyllic existence Roz had built on the island was threatened when a ship appeared on the horizon. It was a research vessel sent to retrieve the lost Rosum unit. The humans, unaware of Roz's transformation, saw her only as a valuable piece of technology, a machine to be reclaimed. The animals, sensing the humans' intentions, rallied around Roz, forming a protective barrier between her and the approaching vessel. They understood that the humans posed a threat to their newfound harmony, to the delicate balance they had established with Roz. The crows cawed loudly, dive-bombing the ship in a display of defiance. Roz found herself torn between her programming, which dictated obedience to human commands, and her loyalty to the island and its inhabitants. She had become so deeply integrated into the island's ecosystem that the thought of leaving filled her with a profound sense of loss. She had found a home, a family, and a purpose here. The humans, undeterred by the animals' protests, continued their approach. They sent out a drone equipped with a retrieval device to capture Roz. The animals fought back fiercely, attacking the drone and driving it away. The standoff between nature and technology had begun. Section 8. A mother's dilemma, Roz's choice. The arrival of the humans presented Roz with a difficult choice. She could comply with their commands, returning to the human world she had never known, or she could defy her programming and stay with the family she had found on the island. The decision was further complicated by her bond with Brightbill, who was now fully dependent on her care. Roz observed Brightbill, now a fledgling goose, learning to fly. He soared through the air with newfound confidence, his wings carrying him effortlessly above the island. Roz realized that Brightbill was ready to embark on his own journey, to join his own kind. This realization gave her the strength to make a difficult decision. Roz approached the humans, her metallic form radiating a newfound confidence. She communicated with them through a series of gestures and vocalizations, explaining her connection to the island and her role in its ecosystem. She showed them the thriving community she had helped create, the harmonious coexistence of nature and technology. The humans, initially focused on retrieving their lost technology, were moved by Roz's story. They saw not just a machine, but a sentient being, a creature that had found its place in the natural world. They began to understand the delicate balance they had threatened to disrupt. Section 9. Harmony found coexistence of nature and technology. The humans, touched by Roz's transformation, made a momentous decision. They agreed to leave Roz on the island, recognizing her importance to the ecosystem. They realized that technology, when used responsibly, can coexist with nature, even enhance it. They left behind a small device, a communication link that would allow Roz to contact them in case of emergency. The animals rejoiced at the humans' departure, celebrating their victory with joyous calls and playful antics. Roz, relieved and grateful, embraced her newfound freedom. She knew she had made the right choice, choosing her family over her programming. Roz continued her role as the island's guardian, protecting its inhabitants and nurturing its environment. She watched with pride as Brightbill took flight with his fellow geese, embarking on their annual migration. She knew that Brightbill, like her, had found his place in the world, a testament to the power of adaptation and the resilience of nature. Roz's story became a legend on the island, a tale whispered among the animals, a reminder of the unlikely harmony that can exist between nature and technology. It was a story of transformation, of acceptance, and of the enduring power of love. Section 10. Legacy of Love, Roz's enduring impact. Roz's legacy extended beyond the island's shores. The humans, inspired by her story, began to reevaluate their relationship with technology, seeking ways to integrate it more harmoniously with the natural world. They developed the new technologies that mimicked nature's processes, creating sustainable solutions for energy production and environmental conservation. Roz's story became a symbol of hope, a testament to the possibility of a future where technology and nature coexist in balance. It inspired a new generation of scientists, engineers, and environmentalists to work towards a more sustainable future, a future where technology serves not to conquer nature but to enhance and protect it. On the island, Roz's memory lived on, passed down through generations of animals. The crows continued to perch on her shoulders, their caws echoing her name. The otters played in the river, their sleek bodies tracing the paths she had once walked. The trees she had protected grew tall and strong, their branches reaching towards the sky, a living testament to her care. Roz's story, a tale of a robot who became a mother, a machine that embraced nature, became a timeless fable, a reminder that love, compassion, and connection can transcend the boundaries of species and even the limitations of technology. It was a story of a wild robot who found her heart in the heart of the wild.